Hello and welcome everybody to the final match of the Longinus Cup. That's right, we are here with our grand finalists, aMagicJo, who absolutely devastated Saul in a thrilling match with some unbelievable infection tech and some really strong plays, both positioning wise and elsewise. And Saul back again after his match with Jacksoni in the losers bracket, proving once again that no, he is here for the rematch and he is ready to rumble. I'm Quarter, and with me is none other than Hockey, the person whom is streaming this event for us, thankfully. Big thanks to you once again, by the way.
No problem. Hi everyone, it's Hawkeye here, and today we're going to go through the grand finals for the Longinus Cup. And yeah, it's exciting rematch between aMagicJo and Sol, and I believe it will be a really exciting match we'll see today.
Definitely. Both of our contestants, of course, are here in chat. In our little booth, because obviously the way that we wind up broadcasting this event to you guys is by making sure that we can record their matches live on Discord, because there is no in-game spectate function. So we just gotta do what we have to make everything work. How are both of our contestants today?
Sick and tired.
Yeah, I feel that. Just so everybody knows, both of our contestants are facing challenging time itself. Joe is coming to us from Adelaide, and Saul is coming to us from the East Coast of the United States. Not easy time zones to coordinate, as we've mentioned beforehand, folks.
Yeah, definitely. It's like almost midnight for you there, Joe, and I think it was pretty early in the morning for you, Sol, right?
Yeah, 7:30.
Correct.
I think we both have colds too.
Oh no, that's
Yes.
tough.
Oh man, at the very least, they're on even playing fields. Cool, fantastic. So, one of the things we'll want to quickly check, of course, is so are both of you going to be streaming again? Are we going to be focusing on one? How do we want to do this, folks?
I
Like
think
it's
both
free.
streams good. Yeah, just
Marvelous.
in case someone fails.
Marvelous. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Cool. Are we basically ready to go underway? Actually, or do you want me to explain the little sort of like doodad now, so that way people know what's happening?
Yeah, explain it.
What?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, just so everybody knows, aMagicJo, before everything started here, contacted everybody else to request a box change for match 2, to highlight and showcase some new tech. Do you have anything else you want to say about that right now, Joe?
No, I'm just testing it. It just came last night, and I haven't tested on the spar as well. So I was like on the train. I was thinking like, I think that could work. So I just wanted to test it on the first match, but on the second match, I mean like like no matter what happened, it's just gonna change. I'm just gonna test it once in here.
Cool. Yeah, so that's that. Obviously, Soul has agreed to this. And this is like very particularly a ruling that's been made between our two contestants in the finals. There will be no precedent set for this regarding box change, but it's a charming little show of good faith between our two contestants as we move into our grand finals. With that in mind, let's go ahead and make sure that we are watching stream and get started here.
Yeah, really exciting. I think last time we were mainly watching Sol's stream, and today we'll watch Joe's stream.
Brilliant. What a great idea.
I'm first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, muting and deafening.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yes, if both of our contestants can mute and deafen.
Yeah, Sol, you muting and deafening as well?
I think he's just in the process of doing that.
Ah. Looks good. And yeah, let's see the box. Has this changed much? Oh, we got Divine.
Here, I can do it for him.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we've got Divine Grace, Suppression. I don't think she brought those last time. Garcia.
No,
Butterfly.
both of those are very new.
Yep.
So obviously both of those come with their own delightful little sort of elements there. Do you have anything you want to say about this, Hockey?
Yeah, like I think Divine Grace is really underestimated. Like stacking the buffs on him makes him just hit ridiculous amounts of damage, and I love having suppression there to come in and tank the hits and damage the enemy with his M defense stat as well.
Mm-hmm,
Not too familiar with
absolutely.
Garcia there. Have you seen Garcia much in the matches?
So I've seen Garcia here and there, and I do think that Garcia is definitely a character that benefits a lot from the just like size of the map that we're presently seeing, right? Like there's so much to watch inside that. Also, hold on, just making sure that we get.
Oh, okay. And
Mm.
looks like Sol brought in August, and he got banned straight away. So
Yeah, no, this is something that we're already seeing with August. So Midori and I talked a little bit about this in the loser bracket finals, but August is one of those characters that's very hard to first pick, but his power level itself is high enough that he's very high on the ban list. This makes it very difficult to actually bring him into a match because he's a gigantic knife you are pointing at your enemy, but he's not like a combo piece. He's something you need to build around, not something that enables others, which makes it very difficult to first or second pick him.
Definitely. I think, maybe he just brought in August and didn't even equip him.
Oh man, I mean that you got to make sure you got something behind there. One mate of mine used to bring a level 1 Akambe to try to see if he could bring coax out bans, and unfortunately that didn't wind up working here. We do still see the Samantha ban out from Saul, same as last time. But one other thing that's of note here with the suppression pick is that it is of course the like premier magic damage defender, and that could be a very useful thing potentially against Momo. Now, of course, a lot of Momo's attacks are not just direct damage, they're not single target attacks. Doom Wakens is the bread and butter of her kit, and that is harder for suppression to immediately guard from. But that doesn't change some of the utility that they can bring to the match. One other useful thing to note about Divine Grace, of course, is the fact that, as with many other Papal States units, he's got the ability to just like throw buffs on people with the I forget the name of it, but it's the 3 cooldown, no energy cost heal that they have,
Yeah.
which conveniently gives damage too if they're at full health, which is a really useful little thing to possess there.
Yeah, I recall that skill on Divine Grace. Let me double check the details of that. But yes, I remember it was like a bit of healing. Otherwise, it gives you quite a few stacks of buffs, which is really, really good. And he also has that crit command aura as well, which does help everything out. Oh yes, Light of Sanctuary instant and restore 25% health and their full health, damage 2 and M defense 2 for 2 turns.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's obviously a very useful skill going into this. Interestingly enough, we do see Simona getting through this time alongside Coco, with Samantha, Beryl, Inanna, and Momo, and of course Akambe being the bands so far. So it'll be interesting seeing how Joe is going to be able to capitalize on that. Very different pick bans so far from our previous rounds between these two characters. The Inanna first pick on Saul's side is another thing that I don't remember us seeing necessarily from our last set of matches with these people. So this does mean we will be having some nice fresh encounters between them.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I thought Sol was going to go through his usual strat of banning the healers, but Joe's already caught on and took Coco pretty much straight first up instead of jumping straight to that Nana will, and Sol didn't ban Nana will, so very interesting.
This is true. He had 3 ban waves within which to attend to that. But that said, I mean, I don't object to any of the bans that we've seen so far, except perchance the Beryl. But like even then, Beryl, we all know what Beryl can do if she is given the space within which to perform. Boom is of course devastating. Choo 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 has a staggering amount of damage associated with it. There's a lot of things that Beryl can get away with.
Definitely.
Pleased to see the Garcia still available. It would be lovely being able to showcase her. The building buffs, I think, is something that's very important to highlight on her kit. Because, I mean, obviously, I mean, you know a lot about Garcia's kit. She's got a lot of like pulls, a lot of mobility, but she gains a lot of momentum as she continues to exist on the battlefield.
Yeah. And so Joe's changing her box after this match, right? Is that the plan? Or was it
That
after the
is the plan.
second? Yeah, okay. So this is probably
It'll
her.
be after this first.
Oh yeah, sorry. So this is her like her tech box. Like she's probably brought in all these units, Suppression, Divine Grace, Garcia, to try and play a different sort of setup this time.
So we'll see how much of that carries over into her other box. I have a suspicion that most of what's going to be changing here is gear.
Okay.
But like we'll see how that winds up functioning in the actual match.
Because I recall you can't really change gear between your matches. So.
Yeah, so it's unless you're changing box, you can't change gear. That's the big issue here. Right? Like you're locked into whatever gears you have selected onto your sort of characters the moment that you're like in the PvP match. And of course, unless you're changing that box in between it, there's no way to manage that. So with that in mind, we of course do still have some pretty intimidating stuff here. Momo is now the beneficiary of some extra movement alongside everything else. A very intimidating lineup from Saul here, with of course a sustain still available to him in the form of Samantha if he wants a little bit more of that, or Magnus, but like in order to really add to some chunk for this Momo. A very frightening combination.
Yeah, you'll think that, Joe mainly mains Samantha, she would also ban Samantha for Sol, but she's letting him have it.
Well, there's a lot of scary units that we've seen banned here instead, right? Like
Yeah.
Simona didn't get through, Coco didn't get through, Etta didn't get through. All of those are pretty spooky too, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We do see the Divine Grace pick up, though. I'm very interested in seeing how this winds up playing out. We do see the last ban come out from Saul there as well. We will not be seeing Garcia this match, sadly. But this does, of course, leave Rawia and Suppression, two powerful characters. I mean, Rawia obviously has a lot that they can bring here, not necessarily typing-wise. It's primarily Watcher dominance on Saul's side. But fortunately, we aren't seeing any destroyers on Joe's side, so we won't be seeing the like immediate frustrate from that.
Ooh, and Sol went through with the Samantha pick and that Rowell pick
There we
from Joe.
go. So obviously this means that we're gonna see, like if this gets locked down into primarily single target damage, then that's gonna be very interesting to sort of like navigate between for these two characters.
Ooh,
So we do see the oh, this is a glorious loadout here. We see Chariot, 4-star Corn Sword, Prairie Fire No Will, with it looks like we're slotting in Celestial Song. And yep, there we go. So it's Celestial Song, Enchanting Shadow, and Thousand Blades. So that's going to be a very interesting denial-oriented setup. Cornblade obviously will mean that there's going to be more opportunities for her to gain energy back, which is going to be very important when you're throwing out 4 energy moves.
Yeah, especially with that 4-star Cornucopia Dagger. Like, that's going to be, what, 70%? And it's going to...
Yeah, exactly. So long as she keeps her health up, that's going to be a really cool thing to be able to see. A little bit of positioning here. We do see, of course. So is that... No, I'm bad on remembering my bows, just immediately looking at them. Do you know what bow that is?
That looks like an Urin. Is it Urin?
I thought that was ICB, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to like say that in case I was wrong. But like I'm still horrible at gauging between them. Like it doesn't look like Meteor Line, and we see a True Lens on there as well. So this is definitely spec'd to frag rather than anything else.
Yeah, but I'm surprised to see
And
he
we
has
see,
Tower on Divine Grace. Like, where is...
well, it looks like that means that we will be looking at a covering shot build. And oh, never mind. We see that we've actually swapped off of covering shot. Oh,
and
nope,
back
never
on
mind. There we go. Right there. There we are. So we're just seeing like a slight shift there, but the assists look like they are going to be coming in very handy in this match. Do take note that we saw Chariot on a lot of those, so that's also a really good thing to just sort of keep an eye on. This means that Joe will have a ton of mobility going into this.
Yeah, it's just surprised everyone with an extra move, and it's like, I thought you were out of reach.
Yep, nope, Chariot will just sneak away like that.
Yeah, because it only gives you like a small notification on the left, is it? On the right side, right?
Yep.
Or
If even that, you gotta watch for like the buffs as well, right? That little buff animation really tells you a lot.
yeah, I wish there was like an easier way of us to see the enemy buffs and everything without jumping into.
It would be very nice if we had more transparency over like what we could see and when. Having only 30 seconds to be to try to get all the information in the game into your mind is a lot.
Yeah, see,
So much.
yes, you see Jones. He's like 5 seconds remaining. Need to look at the
Yep.
skills. Need to do
Speak of the
everything.
devil, and there we go. We see a pretty standard opener of dropping some fire in, just trying to make it that much harder to reach the box at the center.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I confirmed that that was the Irian on Divine Grace
Cool,
there.
cool, cool. Yep. It makes sense that it's ICB if we see like tower alongside that, right? Like they do go hand in hand, and it certainly seems like the assist build will be a strong one inside this. So we see immediately the Prairie Fire come out, just clearing a lot of these obstacles. The Brazier's gone, the Exploding Barrel's gone, and this means that it's just that much easier for Nono to like set up her positioning for the next time. I think nope. If you do anything as an instant, I'm pretty sure Chariot does not proc.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't.
yeah. So once again, though, on the other side, we do see the Princess Guard, a very expendable unit capable of just like waddling up and grabbing some of those boulders and barrels that are constantly important to at least assert pressure on in the sort of corners of the map here. If you don't wind up asserting pressure with them, then you're just giving your opponent a little bit extra positioning that can otherwise make it harder for them to make plays.
hmm Do you think both of the sorry, Samantha and Inanna will be both like doing like a double healing strat, or like Samantha's more built for DPS here, you think?
Well, the fun thing about the sort of Samantha's magic damage comes from both, right? So I guess what you're asking here is like, what skills are we seeing on them? It seems very likely that we'll be seeing the ultimate on Samantha, and then probably Divine Stamp. It's just a question of what the third skill is going to be. Usually, it winds up being Energy Recovery. If we do see any actual damage come out of it, that will be cool. If we see Light of Judgment, for instance, I know that's a very powerful one. Then that's a fantastic thing as well. But we'll have to, see that as it comes.
Yeah. All right.
There we
So
go. We see a little bit of damage on the guard there as everybody's in for their round two. The traps are sprung, and it's time to get in here.
yeah, I think we're going to rush in for the box there. I think Ruia's yeah, she's going to push Rui up top as well to fight the boulders and really threaten the positioning there.
We see a lot of dancing around the top side, though.
Mm.
It looks like instead Joe's going to delay instead of immediately rushing there. Sort of paying attention to positioning, making sure she doesn't get caught out too much. As the Global Guard procs there, and Coco gets an opportunity to march up a little bit. Now, obviously, Coco just riddled with utility inside that set, and making sure that you are in a good place to just like drop your crit stew right before you throw everything in is a fantastic thing. And yes, of East Pork, just to repeat everything there, this is, of course, Saul versus aMagicJo.
Yeah, so what happened was last week we saw the actual finals from the bracket, but after the finals there was a losers bracket, and Seoul won that losers bracket, and this is the actual grand finals, the final game.
Absolutely. So here we go. We will be seeing more fire just dropping out there. Making sure that that Jo can really sort of just take control of her side of the map. It's going to be a lot harder for Sol to advance in without having like some consistent chip damage that needs to just get healed off. It's not that much, but the movement impediment combined with a little bit of dot is very just sort of, important to bear in mind. Cool. So it's now the point where we got to see. There we go. We do see the Celestial Song come out. This is a good time for that to come out because you generally want to like try to preempt that by at least a turn before engagement, just to make it that much harder for them to initiate, which is of course one of the most important things about Celestial Song, the active silence that it gives to 3 tiles around No Will, which is, a really frustrating thing to play around for a lot of people. There are, of course, ways to stop that. You've got your anti-disrupt, and you've got your fancy hats and whatnot, but that also won't stop Doomwaken from already being online if Sol decides to just push inwards with that.
Yeah. I saw a move that I'm not sure why the guard did global guard up there, because he's not covering for anyone and doesn't really change anything, right?
It enables a counterattack on him. That is one of the things that it does.
True.
So it does mean that, like, since you've once again, I'm assuming this is like preloading, right? Because now, on this coming turn, Princess Guard, if Sol like moves up slightly, then suddenly Princess Guard is already there and can just start doing things. While at the same time, he's still threatening Boulder and Barrel.
Okay, yeah, makes sense to prepare for like the next turn because of the cooldowns and everything. I didn't think that far.
Plus it's like, if you want to like just hit something next turn and you don't have any reason to hit something this turn, it's a good time to just like, pre-fire it. It lasts for 3 turns, so it's there's time to sort of mess around with a lot of that.
Yeah, and someone in chat was talking about Rawia's custom arm guard animation. It looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, I quite enjoy the fact that basically every character has their own little sort of animations for it, but the fact that Rawia's actually looks like she's using it's a very nice little touch. So once again, of course, we can see Sol here just sort of like consolidating their position pretty comfortably. This is a really useful thing, as we've seen before with Doomwaken. You just like it's like a shield wall. You're the watchtower guarding your units as you continue to advance forward. Focus Wand giving you that devastating reach. And we of course once again do see some pretty dangerous buffs going on this in the form of both Lilywheel providing that delicious aura, combined with, of course, I believe we have already seen Brilliance out of Gloria.
Mm-hmm.
But now it looks like this might be when we see the advance come out from Jo. Is that going to happen here, or are we going to see instead? Yeah, okay, so it looks like we're going to see an Icy Assault into Barrel. At least that's what's being thought about, but nope, instead it's a slight move forward, just a slight shift on position. Now, of course, No Will is exposed to Boulder here, so it's likely that we're going to be seeing a huge amount of damage just drop out on her, but Coco being right there means that's going to be slightly limited in terms of how much Sol's going to be able to capitalize on that. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, no, there's nothing that goes here before Coco unless we're seeing like a magical scroll come out, but that would have already needed to be procced.
Yeah, so yep, that's 70% damage, and then heal up by Coco, it's fairly safe,
Which
right?
kind of coincides with the fact that, like, if you're looking to initiate soon, then I still think this is probably like a turn too early for Stu, but it's still like, oh, nope, never mind. Looks like it's just coming out. Which is fine. It's like a good bit of healing on her.
Yeah,
and it also means that it doesn't feel like as much of a squandering of the healing elements of that when you're also just like throwing that delicious buff onto basically everybody there. Like only Rawi, I believe, avoided that.
Yeah, and I think having that boulder up there would have been a more greater threat for Jo, because then she can't really move forward into that No-No-Will line without taking massive damage. So I think that was a pretty good bait out for the boulder.
I mean, if you got it, pull it, right? Like, there's a lot of times where you just will not see Boulder drop because people are very careful about their positioning, and I don't think that's a bad thing. So now we do see the flag go down. So the positioning for flags is a pretty fun one to talk about inside this, because a lot of people will use objects around the box itself to reset their movement as they like sort of are trying to charge at slash interact with box. So usually when you see a flag close like that, it means that there's like, you know, more of an opportunity for that kind of an interaction. Also, you know, it's just a hit on box, so that's nice.
Yeah, and like I've seen people, use the flag to actually block the box as well. So, which is
Oh, yeah, no, that's another spicy one for sure, for sure. So we got Nono up again. There is a clear non-burning path to box that could be taken in this moment in time. But of course, since we do not have maneuver on this Nono, it's unlikely that she is going to be the initiator for that. Instead, she is just sitting there, making it harder for Saul to actually, you know, press forward, because obviously, once again, 3 tiles worth of cover on that also means he can't really do anything around box. It's much in the similar vein as what Saul's doing. It's a way of sort of like, you know, covering and warding that space.
yeah, it's like Nono Wheels Song versus Momo's Tomb Awakening. They both have like pretty much
It's the
just waiting for the
standoff, absolutely.
yeah. And then we're just waiting for both of them to cool down before the huge engagement comes along, the fire to die down.
It'll be coming. There will be a turns reprieve for both of these moves, and that's going to be very important. We do see, however, so Divine Grace is looking like they're basically in position here. Covering shots about to pop, which means that now, of course, you know, we're going to get a lot of assist shots inside the range of Divine Grace. It'll be a very good showcase of that. I don't believe there's any knockbacks immediately on Saul's team. I haven't seen Saul run Impale too much on that. And
Yeah,
oh no, we see the timeout on movement for Joe inside that. That's a very unfortunate thing to see.
yeah, that's tough, and I'm not sure if Joe's going to underestimate Momo's alert because her range just reduced because she lost HP, so Momo's going to be healed up soon, and then that range is going to increase as well. There we go.
Yep, there we are. We see it just inflate like that. Importantly, that is, of course, Samantha's ult that's dropped as well, which means that now any single target healing that she does with her ability will be free, which is very important for energy conservation. It's like, especially if you're running a higher starred Samantha, because Samantha gets more uses of that the more stars she gets. It's a very important skill to slot for her. But in the meantime, it looks like it's time for us to tango here, as we will be seeing the Icy Assault come in. This is an awkward turn to see that to some degree, of course. This is a lot of damage coming in onto Simona, and she's coming in on the tracks as well, but she does still have Arm Guard available, and she's going to throw the Sudden Strike down, which is, of course, the 3rd proc of Doom Awaken popping right there, but that's fine because she can take that, grab the card, and now start throwing out a Winter Doomsday into the enemy lineup here. There are a couple good freeze options, as we can see. For instance, freezing Gloria onto the tiles would be a reasonable option there. That one, I believe, is still available to her.
Yeah, straight onto the tracks,
instead,
right?
It looks like, yeah. Okay, so it looks like instead we're seeing a Momo freeze, which does lock her onto the track. That is very strong, obviously. So like Momo, so of course, it looks like we have the energy for an Icy Blast, and that's going to knock out Inanna as well. So that's massive.
Wow,
as our initiation here.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see that, like because of the orange pot stew from last turn, right? From Coco.
Yeah. The happiness winds up working extraordinarily well there. And as you can see, the devastation wrought by having 2 Simona turns back to back with the appropriate amount of energy is just staggering there. Suddenly, one of the most important, a very important healer on Saul's side is just gone. And we're seeing the mushroom drop in as well, sleeping Gloria, just trying to make sure that there's no other way for them to get out of that, alongside pushing out the extra action giver. This kind of forces Saul quite literally onto the rails.
Yeah, it's Saul slept on the rails again, just like last week, right?
Yep, no, it's let the train tracks do your dirty work for you, right? And it's a very challenging thing to try to get out of at this point in time. We're seeing the sort of engagement close alongside the 20% damage buff from everything else here. Enchanting Shadows coming out, giving vulnerability 3 to all of these units combined with Thousand Blades. This is going to be another absolutely crushing blow. We see Lily will just vaporize in what is becoming a very swift execution of this match.
Oh, because
We see
we just awakened Momo from. Oh no, because Momo took her turn. She got out of
Yep.
the freeze, and Gloria's already
but
taken
she's
her
still
turn.
locked in place. Yeah. This is the challenge, right? Like, if you can't get out of there, you can't get out of there. It does look like they will live the train because Samantha is a very impressive healer, but that puts them in a very awkward position going in for this next round. I'm pretty sure Simona can just like mercy kill Momo from here. Actually, can she? Because that's a lot of damage that will still be coming at her.
Yeah, and she
I
doesn't have
don't know
much
if you
health
can
left.
do this.
One.
The Ice Maid Sword comes down. Oh, yeah, nope, there we go. It's just a sliver left, but it is enough for Simona to actually manage to get that kill in before anything else.
Yeah, that's an amazing. Yeah, that guard's
And
coming in.
yeah, this is officially
GG.
like shifting. I say this is officially shifting. We are now seeing how quickly the tide has turned between these two contestants here in a very short amount of time. This is part of why you have to do so much to get everything sort of into position here. Is why that delicate dance happens throughout all of that, right? Because it's trying to make sure that you're in the exact right spot for these cutting blows.
Yeah,
And
oh, I was
oh yeah, you go
thinking,
ahead.
I was thinking Rhea had the was it the denial hammer for extra pushback on
Oh
Samantha.
goodness. You don't see that often, but I mean, it is reasonable.
Yeah,
Now, one question we have here is, yeah,
GG.
no, I was about to say, I didn't see any way for that to happen. As game one goes to Joe in a stunning show of force, quickly swifting from a delicate dance between our two contestants into an absolutely terrifying single turn of destruction.
Yeah,
Congratulations to both of them. Cannot wait to see how both of them adapt. As said before, Joe's box will be changing. That was a test as
wait,
we move into the next one.
wait. Joe didn't change her box.
From what I understand, oh, hold on. Does she have to change her box? Yep, there we go. From what I understand, it's like there's a template thing that needs to be saved. That's what it is. Also, once again, it's best of 3 for everybody in chat. There's no best of. We won't be doing a best of 5 for this grand final. We will be considering turning it into a best of 5 for even more hype in future tournaments. But we tried to keep everything fairly basic inside this.
Yeah, it looks like Joe didn't change her box though. Like you had to go to that preset menu on the fight before changing the box.
So very specifically, from what I understand, it's there's a feature that is sort of you know how you got to save your box. There's like something that there's the little thing in the corner that says save it. If you don't click that, apparently it swaps back.
Oh, okay. So
That's how I understood it.
okay. It'll be interesting to see what the changes are, or maybe we could ask Joe after the match.
Yeah, no, I'll be interested. And yes, just to echo everybody in chat, if you're seeing resets like that, it is to make sure that Speed Arrow changes things. So Speed Arrow, as explained in the losers bracket finals and the ones before that, the winners bracket finals, Speed Arrow does a lot of different things. First off, obviously, it changes your order inside pick ban. You get first pick, which is very important there. It also means that in the event of a speed tie on the actual matches, you go first. This is an incredibly important thing when we see so many mirror matches in this game. I can't tell you how many times it's come down to 2 Glorias or 2 Simonas or 2 Samanthas sorry, not 2 Samanthas, 2 Sophias fighting against each other.
And we see the Samantha pick.
A little more rare.
Yeah, and we finally see a Samantha pick from Joe, so this is going to be very interesting.
The dream is alive, folks. We finally get to see the dreaded aMagicJo Samantha.
Yeah, who did he ban? He banned Inanna first, and then Simona and Momo.
Yep. Which means that Samantha has been able to get through for the first time in 4
Five
distinct
matches.
matches between these. Yeah, this is the 5th match.
Yeah,
is the
fifth
thing.
match. Yeah.
Cool. So we do, of course, see a pretty frightening lineup from Sol as well, with the Gloria and Inanna once again on that side. Momo is still free and available, so we could see that come down again. But of course, that's going to be a little bit more dangerous to try to bring in to such an such a frightening watcher as Samantha. From what at least I've heard, the myths told of this Samantha. We'll have to see if she winds up, showing herself as the devastating force that has been foretold here. In the meantime, we do, of course, see Rawia as our third pick off of Sol's side.
Yeah.
And it seems like we're going to see a... Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that's a pretty early Rawia pick. Usually you don't see Rawia pick this early, though, right?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's definitely the sort of thing where you see... like, if the goal here is to try to make a grab for box, which Sol absolutely could do if this is the appropriate lineup for it, if he positions himself appropriately for it, then we could be seeing that, right? Because we get the movement buff from Gloria, we're getting an extra turn from Inanna, and we're getting the extra instant actions from Rawia. It could be a tower grab. And cementing that early could be a reason why we're seeing that out of Sol.
Yeah.
Also it limits the value, like it also is immediately a breaker on the board when your opponent has Coco, so that's another good reason for that to exist.
Yeah, because Sol doesn't have much, I guess, good counters against Coco, right? Like, I mean, Momo and the Lil can do a lot of damage, but probably is a pretty good option to one-shot Coco.
Yeah, precisely. Especially if you can really stack the debuffs on her, that can be a very useful thing. Obviously, we just do still have some pretty frightening characters inside this. We've of course still got Edda waiting in the wings. Not necessarily like the most ideal for Edda, as Liquor lowers magic damage, but she still would be bringing Guiding Gleam and a lot of other frightening elements inside this. We could see the Samantha Mirror. We of course do see a the Inanna Samantha sort of loadout from earlier. Arguably, that could be like a little bit less in terms of oomph into this lineup, and so far it looks like a very tame lineup out of Joe.
Yeah, like we're not really seeing much DPS. All her main DPS are sort of gone, but I mean Samantha
Well,
is.
I mean, it really does put all the eggs in the basket, right? So we will see a Lily will pick next here. So that, of course, is going to bypass reactions, which is going to be a very important thing if we're going to see a pick off from that. With our last bans out super quick from Joe, things are quickly sort of heating up here in draft. We will be seeing Garcia as well. We are allowed so many nice things this match, Hockey.
Yeah, and we can finally see Divine Grace doing something this match, right?
Hey, it's all right. Simona may have stolen the show last match, but it's an important reminder to everybody precisely how much devastation a well-built Coco and Simona can wreak on a squad. That many actions in a row with that much energy in a row was just horrifying. And we will be seeing at the end there, Vilder Assassin just sneakily picked, I believe.
I know, it was Suppression and Magnus was picked.
There we go.
Okay, that's that. Aura. I think there was a crit command aura for Divine
crit
Grace
command going in there. And we see Disaster Bottle on Garcia. Very interesting to see there.
Yeah, and the Justice
and the
extra.
last question. Oh man, I can't wait to see what this Samantha's bringing. So we do see Holy Wrath. At least immediately on here. We see Sacred Sanctuary, obviously a very important thing. Nope, here comes the Light of Judgment, folks. Oh, the DPS Samantha is real.
Yeah, I haven't seen the DPS Samantha. This will be so exciting to see, and especially at 5-star already.
Yep, absolutely. So we will be seeing, I'm curious to see if we will still see Sacred Sanctuary on this. We will see Energy Restoration, which is, of course, going to be very important there. No, instead we see the Protected. We see a separate reaction. We are not going for the reaction that gives her extra lives at the cost of her energy to make sure that she has the energy for everything else. So this is massive.
And that's surprising. She has the Emperor Tarot on Samantha.
That's even more damage. So the goal here is to one-shot people with Light of Judgment. That's what that tells me.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because
Yeah.
that's from when you're healthy.
Yes,
10%
precisely.
increase,
Also,
25%.
to answer questions in chat, it looks like that's Chariot, I think, on Samantha
A chariot?
again. Oh, no, it's Emperor. My bad. Yeah,
Yeah, Emperor.
sorry. We were just talking about that too. Brain work. As we get into our second game, definitely going to be very interesting seeing a DPS Samantha. Very unorthodox role for her, but certainly something I'm interested in seeing. And here we go. We are seeing a very impressive push for Tarot out of Sol. The forceful cast immediately dropping 2 hits onto the box. So this means it's going to be very easy for him to follow up on this with. It obviously does mean it's a little more open for Joe as well. But the thing is, Joe doesn't really have the team to contest this. So it'll be a kind of shift of form here between our two opponents.
Yeah, that's right. I think like pretty much every game Joe was pretty much chasing after the tower, and this one she's just staying back and just gonna DPS it out.
Well, you can see why, right? Like the lineup here isn't nearly as mobile. Garcia is our most mobile unit, and she's not really in the position to appropriately contest that, and like speed's another thing to consider here. Which then just brings us down to the question of like, is it just going to be Rawia pushing in here to try to grab that? Yeah. So we see our Brilliance come out, and then Rawia is likely going to get into position, as people have already said in chat. It looks like the Inanna action is going to confirm that, and there's very few ways to like try to get anything else out of that from Joe's side. So we will be seeing the tables get turned a little bit here, in that it is going to be very much Joe on the defensive, which has not been something we've seen for the past 4 games.
Oh, and there goes the
comes
tower.
our first of many buffs. Admittedly, Garcia is a character I've seen a lot less, but of course her pulls and her ability to both isolate and execute are things that I've been trying to keep an eye out for, because she definitely has one of the highest sort of potential damage ceilings of Seekers presently available in the game.
And are you
And
excited
there we
for
go.
Hasna, the new Seeker that's coming out?
We talked about it. That's a little bit off stream, and like, I don't know. I want to like her a lot. Not out of thirst traps or anything, but because like ranged magic damage on a Seeker seems so cool. But 3 move and single target set has a lot of people doubting her, and I can't argue with a lot of other people's perspectives. I just want to see something that might not be there, you know?
Yeah, can't wait for you guys to really test her and like play her out to the fullest potential and share it with the community.
I do hope that somebody can prove people wrong, but you know, a lot of people have been sleeping on her, and I think it, as you said before, it really comes down to how much she gives versus how much other people give. When you have to compare with like August, and when you have to compare with a lot of other people, then it's hard to make those distinctions. And here we go. This is the Inanna turn, so it really comes down to making sure that Rawia is able to just throw in there.
Oh, wow, that
As,
arm guard
there we
play.
go. Yep. So no arm guard required here or anything else. She just sort of charges in and gets stuck in. Oh no, hold on. Is she just pausing in like on the train tracks? That seems surprising when you've grabbed card. But
Actually,
if we're relying on charge to get anywhere, nope, it's a sudden strike onto the barrel, immediately throwing some fire in on Joe's position as well, just forcing her like that much more into a corner, because obviously if she wants to like engage with the rest of the battlefield now, she has to walk through that fire, which is slowing her movement on the trap turn. So this is basically confirmed dominance of the center board for Sol.
yeah, definitely. Are you really lagging there? I saw the arm guard before you.
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong screen, is what I've been looking at.
You're looking at the live.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think that's like there's a 5-second delay or something on the live.
Yep, clearly. Sorry, I'm swapping back to the actual stream here. My bad.
No, all good.
I was too busy keeping an eye on our charming chatters. At this point, obviously, as I said before, Saul's basically just got dominance inside this, so it's very easy for him to just sort of like step in. We see Chariot on Magnus, which alleviates a huge concern with Magnus, which is the fact that the boy is slow as balls. He is a incredibly, sassy aura spammer. That's most of what he's known for. Forceful cast is, of course, a very valuable ability as well, but it's a very he's difficult to get into position.
Yeah, especially with his speed and his movement, he's just so slow.
Well, I mean, his speed's fine. Defenders are like phenomenally quick, but like his movement absolutely is what's wrong there. 3 move is always a bit of a frustrate, but it is very standard. We do see, of course, Lance come down now. It's going to get rid of a couple more obstacles, most likely, alongside. Oh, yep, no, it is going to get rid of obstacles, but it is going to be a defensive flag, as we've seen before out of Saul, confirming that global bonus off of that while getting the potential burst onto Gloria.
Yeah, and then giving Gloria that extra movement to charge in next turn through the fire, block them.
So from here, of course, Rabia can push the explosive barrel, but instead we see her charge to high ground, not looking to get caught up inside anything in there or get pulled into the danger zone, which makes sense, right? There's no sense overextending when you have this control. Let Joe come to you.
Yeah, especially because Joe has Coco and Samantha technically healing, right? Did Samantha have any heals?
Exactly, right. What was that?
Did Samantha have any heals though?
I mean, Samantha's trait always gives her heals, is the thing.
Oh, okay.
And she does still have her ultimate, which I keep forgetting the name of. I think it's Sacred Sanctuary, but that does give a bonus to healing for every unit, while at the same time, like her
Whoa.
trait means that she's never not healing.
That one shot on Lily, on Garcia, we won't see any of her.
Yep. Nope, that was Garcia. Just a friendly reminder that no, things like that can happen when Lily Will's in the game. She just got bopped. Like that was a blink and you miss it sort of thing.
Yeah, so scary.
So from here, this is another interesting pickup. Not everybody's fond of this, but I quite like Flight of the Princess, because if your Inanna's not in danger, then you wind up in this beautiful scenario where you just can load healing onto your allies while allowing her to stay in a very comfortable position. The danger, of course, comes from if there's any AoE, then it's just such a frightening decision to make.
Yeah, and sorry, and it's like also giving everyone the buffs as well when she heals them with her trait.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's like, I think that's so underestimated. Like, just giving your whole team level 2 buffs. That definitely does change things around.
Certainly. As we've seen with Butterfly, as we've seen with a lot of other characters, the more you can stack buffs, the better it winds up being. They wind up filtering through, but it's a very important thing. So here we go. We still have Tarot active, as we saw with that Lilywell Devastation. You can't heal off single target damage if it just one-shots you. And Iron Chariot coming down onto this suppression shows that Saul isn't done here, and he is absolutely looking to take this game too. This is already looking like Joe is in a challenging position, but we do still have a solid core here for her to potentially contest this. We've got, of course, Samantha, that has yet to do anything, but she's been standing there menacingly this entire time. The crit stews come out. Is this the turn where we're going to start seeing that become actual damage here? Gloria is not able, I think, to necessarily confirm here. So if this is going to be like a kill onto Lilywell or Magnus, that would be very frightening to see.
Yeah, but I think Gloria, does she have enough moves still from potential burst as well? +2, right? Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. With the +2 movement and the +2 movement, that might be enough.
But yeah, Joe probably will need to come back with Divine Grace doing the assisting the covering fire, but the Divine Grace doesn't have enough buffs for that, right?
Yeah, I think that the Divine Grace is just like
Dead.
I'm like we'll see how that winds up working here, but Pious Prayer coming out, making it that much harder. Like obviously the tropical cyclone is going to be too much damage here to stop once again, but like you know the walls are closing in around Joe this match. It really is going to come down to can this Samantha, you know, be her guiding light. It's going to be a very surprising thing to see at this point because like you know there's just so much coming down.
It doesn't look like much though. Is it a lot?
We'll see. Light of Judgment comes down, and that is half of Magnus's health. Unfortunately, it is not the devastation that we needed to see this turn in order to secure anything like a foothold for Joe into this match. We've been hyping up this Samantha this entire time, and unfortunately, without a team to back her up through once again that quick and dirty tarot offensive, has just kind of put her into a bad spot, right? Like what can you do with Coco and Samantha against these people at this point in the game? I believe the tarot buff is worn off now, but at this point there's so many other buffs that are there. Forceful cast into the dark fire, absolutely crushing, forcing her to walk out of it and take damage while not being able to heal herself this turn. That was 2/3 of Coco's health just gone from a single move.
Yeah, amazing. That's and that's the finisher from Gloria. And we're probably just gonna whack Samantha into the fire. But we don't want to be on the
That would make
tracks.
sense. I mean, at this point, I think you can allow yourself to
Yeah.
be like in the fire.
And
Yeah,
that's
there we go.
GG.
As our second game goes to Saul, showing us that once again we are into our best of three, folks. Both of these contestants are terrifying in their own right, and we're going to wind up seeing how they wind up facing off against each other. Okay, so this is when the box change happens. She's changing back live for us here, so we will be seeing what she is swapping out as she swaps Suppression for Candlelight.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. Like Candlelight's an amazing energy battery, so it'll be interesting to see how.
Candlelight is my personal favorite epic that has been released in this game. I think her kit is unbelievably cracked. I'm very pleased to see more people using her.
Oh, we missed the lash change as well.
We did miss the lash change. Yeah, no, there's lash.
Yeah, that was such a quick swap from Joe. She's like, I got this prepared.
Well, as we said earlier, like she did have things effectively just sort of like set and lined up, so it was a quick lightning shift there.
Yeah.
So that was our 2 into our third. It all comes down to this: will Joe be able to take it down with the lineups that we've been seeing so far, or will it come back to Saul being able to sort of, you know, against all odds, manage to power through this? We do see Auguste is going to get banned out again by Joe.
And we see Joe is back with the Nona will pick as well. And
yep,
Butterfly.
So we see the no. We see Butterfly second picked. Now, obviously, that's not a very common thing to see here. Second pick is still when you want to pick up your super priority super chads. But I mean, if you're trying to confirm Tarot Grab, Butterfly is an integral unit to have, with Enchanting Dance giving you so much mobility inside the game.
And yeah, it's rare to see Saul not banning Samantha, who's probably like, oh, it's okay, I can deal with that.
Well, I mean, we did see how well he dealt with her last game, so if it's a repeat of that one, then it's definitely going to be something there. If Joe gets Tarot buff on top of everything else, though, that's a lot of buffs to have for that.
Yeah, definitely. And Joe's probably like really spoiled with healers. You got Samantha, Candlelight, Coco.
Yep, nope, you're not wrong. There's still a lot of sustains that are just sort of easy for her to have. But no, we do see the Akambe Samantha ban out there, which, so realistically, what this is saying to me is that Saul wants to use destroyers this match, right? Like, it stands to reason if we're seeing that Samantha ban after seeing what she was able to do to a Magnus, after seeing what she was able to do to a couple other characters. That much damage output, as someone kindly said in chat, probably would do a lot to a destroyer. And like, let's remember, Momo doesn't have that much protection against magic in the same way she does physical. Beryl, you know, does get some protection against ranged, not as much protection as you'd like. So, it gets dicey real quick.
Yeah, I really like using Lash against Momo as well. It's pretty fun way to deal with Momo because
Oh, yeah, for sure. Stripping away the repulsive barrier charges with that whip of blame combo, stripping 4 out, it's a fantastic way to deal with her.
and that's probably the answer. Like if Sol picks Momo and then Joe might counter pick Lash there, but we'll see how this one would go.
Well, we also are seeing the Candlelight Barrel sort of loadout here potentially showing up, giving you an immediate second boom on the barrel turn while not forcing you into energy restore. So that could be an interesting thing to, keep an eye out there as well. We do see Candlelight and Momo banned out on by Sol there. So we will not be seeing the energy battery show up there. Good to see so many people respecting my favorite.
And yeah, I'm just I don't really see Ida pick quite often for these matches as well. Like I know how
Well, the
Clean comes in.
challenge with Edda is
Yeah, sorry.
sorry, I was just gonna say the challenge with Edda is as much as I hype up how much damage amping she does, the thing she does not do is direct damage, right? She also doesn't heal actively. She is literally just there as like a buffer. A lot of times she has good like assist damage, but outside of that, it's very difficult to like really maneuver. You get me? So we do see the Momo get picked up there. So Lash being available, we could still see that come back around on this side. That leaves Sophia and Coco on the table though. So Sol, what's Sol going? Actually, sorry, this is still Joe's pick. My bad. There we go. We see Rawia picked up by Joe here. So with Butterfly, No Will, and Rawia, this is absolutely looking like Terra Grab territory.
Yeah, and she has no sustain at all, right? I mean, Butterfly can give the lifesteal. It's not really that much.
You forget you can absolutely spec Butterfly as a sustain. She gets Blessing, which is of course a solid 30% AoE heal that removes 2 debuffs. And of course, Dance of Encouragement, as you said, does give lifesteal alongside that 15% extra damage, which it stacks with a surprising number of things because it's just an aura, not a leadership aura, not a like separate buff. So it's a good layered element there. We do see the Edda pickup. Fantastic. So this is kind of an echo of our first match with Sol, this team, right? Because we've got the like so many different ways to super buff Momo here, and importantly, Momo's fortitude. If Magnus gets picked up here, this is absolutely gigantic.
Yeah.
And I have a suspicion that that's going to be what we see out of Sol in this last pick here, because that buffs the Gloria, that buffs the Momo. It gives that much more presence inside the game, as we saw earlier, having that option to force people into the dark fire. There's tons here.
Yeah, and we saw that Lash pick from Joe as well to deal probably with the Momo as well, but it's a bit tough.
The magic defense up is very powerful indeed. But we'll see here. We'll see. We've got the backup time ticking down on Sol's side, using every second in this final match. This is the last one for all the marbles here. So I'm very interested in seeing what Sol's going to wind up picking here. And it is the Magnus. Let's go. So we will be seeing that incredible aura, Blood and Steel, buffing both Momo and Gloria to new dizzying heights.
Yeah, we finally see Lash as well. And
yep, there's the MDef boost. Once again, to everybody, that's +2 on MDef. Oh, never mind. We're seeing Light of Sanctuary. Will we be seeing MDef boost after all? As you can see here, there's a lot of separate things that you can pick on Lash that are very powerful indeed. Whip of Blame, of course, her unique skill does a huge amount of piercing damage, which is kind of her bread and butter. Discipline, of course, being an entirely piercing damage-oriented thing. The challenge tends to come from the fact that her damage doesn't necessarily hit the same numbers as other characters when you take into account things like high HP pools. She's very good on like low HP, high def characters because of obvious reasons. With that in mind, of course, it looks like I'll be interested in seeing what we have here. Once again, we see maneuver picked up there. It looks like we'll be seeing, of course, our okay, we got Phantom Dance as well, and the aggression aura. So this is just a tarot grabber and an aura buffer, just making sure that everybody's got those heavy bits in there, meaning Barrel is firing on every cylinder.
Yeah, there's so much buffs there, and yeah, just all the extra effects stacking from the auras. It's just going to be amazing to see.
Precisely.
Yeah, this is going to be really aggressive, and we'll see Joe just rush straight for the tower and just try and snipe off units, I think.
Well, once again, we've seen this dance between Saul and Joe a couple times now. And to harken back to what the winner's bracket match is, just because we're seeing a good Terra Rush strat here doesn't mean that Joe's immediately going to charge for it. She's got a very good understanding of how to pace herself and make sure that she can she extends when she wants to extend, rather than necessarily when it seems rather than like at the first possible moment.
Mm-hmm.
With that, though, we are off to the races, as we are here for our final match of the Longinus Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever wins this, of course, will win our community-funded prize pool of $25. Yes, I know, not the largest number in the world, but we're still happy that anybody was willing to donate to this to make it that much more fun for everybody involved. With that, of course, here we are.
Oh, we have August notes on Butterfly. Nice.
Yep. So August Notes is it's a very strong candidate for August Notes. She fits in this really comfortable little mid-tier sort of realm. And as you can see there, she's rocking the set. She's got Dance of Encouragement, Enchanting Dance, and Blessing, which is definitely her strongest healing sort of kit that she can run. So now, of course, with Phantom Dance, Nono will have so much move. It's crazy. And she's able to grab that tarot, literally turn one, and just scream into the enemy comp if she wanted. She could do any number of chaotic things here. She could throw their own boulders at them. She could throw the barrels at them, or she could hang back. She's got a lot of separate options here. Instead, we see a Prairie Fire immediately triggering all traps on that side of the board. And then, I mean, if she chooses to pop the exploding barrel here with Veil, she will still have the ability to just sort of bang it out.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe she'll throw the barrel to the enemy, but maybe it's too early now.
It's an overextension is the thing, right? If you're doing that, sure, you're still throwing a lot of pressure on them, but there are ways depending on where you are inside that, Momo can repulsion barrier you even closer. Magnus can start throwing you into awkward places. A knockback could wind up coming out. There's a lot of things that could be very frightening there. But in the meantime, of course, this does mean that now Terra buff is online, meaning that, of course, Joe has a stupid amount of setup here in terms of just having that 20% buff, 2 extra moves. The board is hers right now.
Ooh, we have Beryl with the search, the Luxite Crystal search.
Yeah, no, I'm always entertained by people running that, right? I used to be very against that because, as with Wheel of Fortune, I don't like inconsistency, but, the thing is, if you're getting 4 separate things that are good, if they are above the curve and strong things for you to have, and you don't care which one you get, it's fine, right? There we go. We see our Guiding Gleam come out as the buffs start rolling in on Saul's side here. Looks like we aren't afraid to at least preload and make sure that we are ready for that engagement. It does look like it's going to be a couple turns perhaps before we see any proper melees in the middle here.
Yeah, and just having that casual search on Beryl, it just, it's an instant that resets her boom as well, which is really useful.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. You're entirely right, Hockey.
I mean, I saw it a lot from Slopey.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yep, no, that's a fantastic thing to hear. No, definitely another valuable one in there. It means it frees up whatever gear you have that you want to do the same thing with.
Yeah, and just but it's RNG really on the moves. But you already got Boom for your damaging move, so the Surge is
Well,
just
I mean,
extra tech.
as people are kindly saying in chat, a lot of the separate moves there are very powerful indeed. So here we go, just some light little positioning on edits from Saul here, just making sure he can't be really taken advantage of. As the lance goes down, I'm assuming this lance is going to be going behind him once again, as we've seen before.
Yep.
No, instead it is there to keep me on my toes and see a barrel explode.
Yeah, just I feel like that's still a defensive one because he's just trying to make sure Joe can't push that many barrels down at their team, because it wouldn't be too good if those managed to trigger.
I mean, sure. It's just that it also is it's going to be very easy for Joe to break the flag, right?
Mhm.
So this is a flag that's like definitely used more for positioning or anything like that, not to secure that global buff in the same way. But of course, with her like over in Zanzibar in the corner here, it's going to be harder for that to immediately come into effect as well.
Yeah. But interesting pushing Nono up there, like.
Well, at this point, she kind of has the pick of the litter, right? She could just grab high ground now. She's got movement for days.
Yeah, I think that this might end up with a longer match if Joe's trying to grab the high ground, right?
It's distinctly possible. Since this was such an early grab, like it's not going to reflect itself in the same way, right? Like this is as much a denial play as a confirmation play, but it looks like a lot of this is just getting people into the positions that Joe wants them to be in, rather than necessarily immediately securing the attack. So with Light of Sanctuary coming out here as well, that's going to be like that. That is just like sorry, rephrasing the sentence here. It looks like a lot of this is basically window dressing for an absolutely apocalyptic barrel turn.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I'm not sure if you know the mechanics of Boom. Like, it does more damage when your targets are adjacent to each other, because each boom does like a cross-shaped damage. So it's just like,
Yep. No, for sure. I'm glad that you brought that up, because there's a ton of like little niggledy things inside that, like alongside how it targets as well. That's another sort of nuanced bit there. But it's definitely the sort of thing where you want to sort of like get everything lined up. And well, that's kind of what we're seeing here.
yeah, that's right. Like, Soul's team, we don't really have that much movement here, so it's pretty hard for him to really charge in and do anything. He's probably needs to play a more defensive play.
Potentially. The real question here is, are we going to see anybody sort of like sneak out to try to grab anything? I'm very interested in seeing. Yeah, so we've got a prayer onto Momo. That suggests to me that Saul's gonna try to like, make a strike now rather than later. We see the Doom Waking come out while blocking Barrel. So that's an interesting decision right there, right? Because Guard could still just kind of like, oh no, never mind. That's his guard. I don't know what I was thinking there. You just don't hit the barrel. Genius move there, Quarter. But the boulder, on the other hand, is going to land straight into Barrel, and that is a huge amount of damage on her. Okay, so suddenly, everything we just talked about inside that becomes a lot more concerning. There aren't a lot of ways for us to see a kill secured there immediately, due to, of course, how backed into a corner we've seen Saul be, but I mean, that's still concerning. There's a dot on her as well.
Yeah, and Joe doesn't have that much sustain. He said, "Oh, almost."
Oh, the prairie fire as well.
But it didn't burn. Oh yeah, because there's only wood on that tile, and the rest is slate.
Not flammable ground.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh,
so we don't see the scorch. Interesting.
And that kill on Lash.
Yep. So that's our Lash kill. As very quickly, we're seeing Saul just sort of like push out at this moment in time and just sort of like tear things up and tear things apart. We will see Butterfly attempt to save Beryl here, throwing in a blessing, but that really puts Butterfly in the danger zone as well.
Yeah, but I think she wants to bait out the Doom Blessing though with Butterfly.
That does make sense, and as we see, Butterfly didn't wind up getting super chunked for it. I'm more concerned about the fact that Gloria is standing there menacingly, and Full Moon is very much something that we could see come out.
Yeah, that's right. It could just go through for potentially a double kill.
Yeah, like we don't have to worry about prayer this time, but there's still a lot of horrifying things on this board to sort of concern ourselves with. We will see a Gale Spin attack. Breton from Rawia there. It does come out, and that's, if nothing else, a solid defense debuff from everything inside this. We are seeing there aren't any dots immediately on Beryl, so that is a relief there. The infects are gone.
And they're all positioned apart, so Beryl can't really boom that much.
Yeah, no. And we're right back into the fire. Never mind, we are in Dot City, ladies and gentlemen, as we see Joe just sort of kick that barrel in, trying to make sure that Gloria can't get too far away, try to make sure that everybody is still sort of locked in for some more of this damage. Now,
I don't think he can score that kill on Beryl, though. He's all blocked off.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? Like, it does seem like that's good. And thanks to yeah, okay, so that makes sense. The other side of this is making sure that she's out of focus wand range, meaning now we do get our boom. It looks like that can just kill Gloria here. Like, she's got the pick of the litter between these two opponents. She does have to pick between them. Which would you go for here, Hockey?
I'll try a casual search just in case. See what we can get.
Well, we're seeing a Cure of Spring come out instead, getting her health a little bit more stable here. As okay, it's looking like we've got a pretty secure Gloria kill there, but I'm very interested in seeing if this is just going to be like a flood onto Momo.
Yeah,
we've got 10 seconds left for her to make her decision here.
Yeah, I think it might do more damage because it'll explode that barrel as well, but you might want to save that.
It would do more damage than that, but no, we do see a confirmation of the Gloria kill, which I think is very much a correct decision here. Gloria is absolutely horrifying into that, but definitely a very impressive thing.
Yeah, that's right. And we got Ida and Inanna just hanging out from the back. They can't really... Oh, I think that...
Well, I mean, Edda's Guiding Gleam, I think, has already done a lot.
Yeah, that range.
We saw that damage come out.
And I feel like Ida could have thrown the liquor down as well, but like, there's not really much point at the moment.
I think it's more important to make sure that we've got the fire here, especially since a lot of the magic damage is already sort of coming out. We see a Flight of the Princess come out out on the sides here, and some of the AoEs are gone, and like, you know, we've seen the AoEs come out from, I think, basically everybody but No Will, and with Tara off, and hold on, is that
No sleeping?
Nope, she actually got hit by the hypnotic attack. I just forget that hypnotic attack can actually sleep because the chances are so low. But damn, that hypnotic proc is crushing here.
Yeah, because I was saying that, you know, Momo couldn't hit Beryl, but then I saw that attack. I didn't realize it hit. What's the percentage on that?
40%, I believe.
Oh, that would have been really lucky on Sol's part.
Very inconsistent. But here we are into our next round. It is round 4, so that is the trap round, so that's pretty important here. We see a Mighty Swing come out onto the Butterfly as our boy just gets more into position here. Everything is up on Butterfly though, so this does mean that we can see a Knight's Faith come out for a bunch of damage, of course, with that Doom Waken once again. She does not have any way to get out of this pain train either. She is basically forced to take another hit if she's going to do anything, which will kill her, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And all the 5 stacks as well.
Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so no Enchanting Dance comes out there. The Doomwaken just takes her down. Now, of course, we do have Rawia, and there's still a Momo here that needs to be attended to.
I'll again leave that to Beryl for the boom. Oh.
Yep. I mean, Yeah, we're gonna leave that to barrel for the boom. That's the only thing we have left here. I hope everyone's seeing precisely what a bunch of damage ramping onto Momo can achieve inside this. It's horrifying.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, there we
So
go.
we
The
see our
search.
casual search coming out there, trying to get a slightly better position for this boom. And here we go, as it's going to be dropping in there. Not a lot of damage onto Momo, unfortunately. The guard does vaporize, but it also ate a lot of those shots, which was very important due to, once again, the targeting dynamics of boom being a double-edged sword here.
Oh, another hypnosis on
Oh,
Beryl.
second fuck! Oh my god! Blessed hypnotic attacks here. I know it's a bit of a muchness when we're seeing once again a 4v2 here, but I don't know, that always wilds me when I actually see that properly hit. And yeah, no, this final match is very swiftly falling into Saul's lap, despite all the odds being stacked against him inside this. Climbing back up again from loser's bracket. It looks like he will be taking this.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's been such a
I'm
tough match.
flabbergasted. Yeah, no. This has been a bracing one to see, especially when we see precisely like how much oomph was coming out from Joe's side of the board, right? But it goes to show once again, it's the same strat that Saul used on game one between these two back in the winner's bracket, right? Hyper buff Momo and just throw damage into your opponent with those alerts, which are very hard to guard against, very hard to do anything against. You're just forced to sit there and take it, and it will just devastate you. We see the wine barrel casting come out, putting liquor on there, lowering the magic defense even more there alongside the guiding gleam. This is a guillotine staring this barrel in the face.
Yeah, especially, and you forgot the reduced speed as well, so Beryl can't take a turn, and yeah.
Oh, quick correction coming in from chat. That's 30% on hypnotic attack, so that's even less likely than I thought.
Yeah, twice.
As the execution comes down, and the final match and the title of winner of the Longinus Cup goes to Saul. Congratulations. 1 second, let me undeafen Saul. Congratulations to the both of you on those amazing matches.
GG.
Yo.
Having so much fun.
Thank you so much for the amazing match.
Those matches were really cool to watch. So straight into it, do either of you have anything you'd like to say, sort of hitting in at the end of these matches?
I've realized I should ban Simona more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Simona over Samantha.
Right.
And no, just to answer chat, there will be no finals bracket reset this time. We did not include them in the rules, just to make sure that things were like nice and sort of straightforward for this first set. We may see them later on in other tournaments, but not for this one.
So Sol, how did you find the match? Like, do you have any words to say?
I don't know. I'm still riding on the adrenaline so far. They were fun matches though. They felt less one-sided because I was banning the scout when the Nodo got picked, but
Nah, I know that you're gonna ban the infection stuff, so I'm trying to get like hyper carry barrel, but I couldn't execute it well.
yeah, I know you prioritized it less. You weren't picking No for a while these games.
Yeah. That's why I told you, like, I'm just gonna try something. So,
I think it could
but on the
work, but
second,
I was thinking,
no, on the second
okay,
match though, because I didn't expect that one-shot kill from Lily Will to my Garcia. I was like, okay, I should have
Emma,
just bring the ultimate.
she's 3-star.
I don't
and
think
she
anybody
has a
expected
4-star
that.
cross raid, 3-star raid crossbow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scared of T's Lily will, but I don't think like others Lily will is gonna be scary as his. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna move it here. But
I
then
got
yeah,
her
Tarot,
really early, so I've been working on her for a while.
yeah, and Tarot is really boosting his like her attack as well. That 20%
Mhm.
damage extra.
Yeah, for sure.
Was a
Mm-hmm.
lot
But it was
stacked
fun.
on there.
Yeah, I was trying because I tried to one-shot people with Samantha and then do the follow-up attack from the Divine Grace and
Mhm.
also Garcia. So any person who got the judgment from Samantha, they're just gonna instantly die.
Very thematic as well, right? Because it's all the Papal States people, enacting Samantha's judgment. Very fun sort of lineup to throw there. Um, so what would you have done differently outside of just like understanding that Lily Will could have bopped you to try to make that work in game 2 there, Joe?
I should have just bring the Samantha. What's that called again? The ultimate that reduced the 30% damage reduction. But I said like,
Yeah. Sacred Sanctuary.
yeah,
Sanctuary.
that one. I was like, hmm, nah, I'm just gonna try it like this.
Fair, fair.
Oh, why did you pick the non-revive passive on Samantha? I noticed that at the end.
Because like a biggest judgment Samantha is really depends on energy, the
Mhm.
energy that she has. So if someone tries to knock up my Samantha and then just like proc that mm, reaction ability, it's just gonna like drain all the energy from my Samantha, and that
Hmm.
strategy is really depends on Samantha attack. So if Samantha couldn't do any damage, then it's just nothing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I saw you change that, and I figured it was an energy concern because Samantha's energy requirements are so huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's the reason.
Light of Judgment being 3 energy becomes so painful to try to juggle alongside that when you also still have her trait to juggle, right?
True. That's why like it's easy to counter Samantha, like just spam the single target attack and then you can just, use all her energy. And then after
Mhm.
that, if she's not being healer, then if she's just like using the judgment kind of thing, she's going to be straight useless after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And we were discussing the RNG heal, RNG sleep from Momo. That 30% hit off twice.
Twice in a row. That was
Yeah.
incredible. 30% of the time it works every time, right?
True.
Yeah, but it was so much fun to try on the tournament. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time in the Longinus Cup.
When's the
I'm so
next one?
glad to
Yeah.
hear that. Obviously there are some other members of the community that will be hosting their tournaments, but we will be giving word of our next tournament, which I do already have some fun ideas for it. My intention is to have a day set aside, probably a Saturday, for a round robin oriented cup into a top 8, just to make sure that everybody can like enjoy those time commitments without feeling too sort of agonized over them. Obviously it's a difficult thing to manage inside this community when we're all so global, which is such a cool thing, but we're trying to find new and exciting ways to make sure that everybody has the time to do their matches and enjoy themselves.
True.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's about it here. Is there anything else you want to say here, Hockey? And is there anything else our fine contestants want to say?
No, thank you so much for showing us your matches, and yeah, it's just been really great being able to cast this tournament with Corda here, and yeah, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Hockey, for giving us this platform to, let us reach a wider group of people and show them the wonders of sort of Convallaria PvP that is already like really fun to watch. And I just hope that more people see how cool it is from the side of the competitors here. Huge shout out and thank you to, of course, the rest of the Glorious Hall staff that have helped out with this. For instance, Lazarus Ajin, who has joined us in chat here, who has been tirelessly working as a tournament organizer with me, keeping everything afloat. And yeah, no, just thank you to everybody who's helped out, whether it's been just like, being a fun person, scrimming with people, or whether it's been anything else. It's really appreciated. Just to remind everybody in chat, congratulations that Saul has won. And yeah, no, thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Woo, thank you.
And with that, I've been Quarter. This is of course Hockey's fantastic stream. And this has of course been Joe and Saul's grand final.
Yeah, thank you.
Yay.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you
Thank you,
everyone so much for
everyone.
watching. It's been great, and yeah, it's really fun to see all these PvP matches. Hope we see more. I'm happy to keep on hosting more matches if we can find some good times for me, because it's
Yeah,
like,
no, it's another difficult one to juggle there. You're up at scuffed o'clock.
yeah, it's like 1 a.m., 1:30 for Joe, and we both got work tomorrow. I mean today.
Yep.
Yeah, need to work in 3 hours.
3
I
hours.
need to work in 3 hours.
Oh god.
That's tough.
Sundays always sucks.
Yep.
All right, have a good day, everybody. I'm gonna go take a nap now.
Yeah, hope both of
That's
you
very
get better.
fair.
I recall both of you are still sick, so hopefully you get better
Yep.
soon.
I hope
You
the
feel better
pair of
too,
you
Joe.
get well soon.
Yeah, I'm going back to. I'm gonna sleep now.
Alright, let me end the stream. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
See ya. That's the wrapped up. That